There's no time for an intro. Let's go.
It's about time I start building my base because it's been a while I've been putting it off. So I've brought all the materials here at the Pale Garden and I've set up the Light Magica schematic. So all that's left to do is starting to build. Hopefully, the replay file on both flashback or replay mode, I'm gonna be recording with both just in case. Hopefully, they don't get destroyed because this is gonna be a long build. So, yep, cue the time lapse. So the build's almost complete. So before I talk about that, I would like to add the finishing touches of the build. So for that, I need these things. Here, let's grab these. Let's place down the smithing table. And just I need smithing templates. I completely forgot they were a thing. Wow, that's oh god, this is gonna be way more expensive than I thought. Oh well, it's worth it for the aesthetics, right? Boing, boing.
This is a very amazing use of money. Really, honestly, it's honestly perfect, isn't it? Yeah, like really wise use of money. Diamonds, yep. Totally. Yep. Why wouldn't it be? Huh? That's crazy. There we go. Put that on there, put that on there, and put that on there. Now we take this. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Right, my inventory management is really something right now. But for this to make it match as really closely to netherite, for the leather I basically just like used 6 black dye for each of these, and then 1 purple and then what was it? 1 purple and then 1 yellow. Hey, and the weird brown marking is gone. That's lovely. Sure, it doesn't look as impressive as if it could have if it was all netherite, but come on, you cannot. Like, no way. I am not grinding that much netherite. Plus, like, it's also expensive in terms of diamonds as well. And I'd like to, buy some better things with diamonds rather than this. The main reason I'm going for netherite helmets is just because they look more interesting than just like normal plain old helmets. That's it. And there we go. Lovely. And no, that's not as lovely. But yep. Now next thing I wanna do is what did I even take damage on there? Huh. So I'm gonna be using any gray mini head, so might as well, go for this one. The closest one to a flex, really. Like, it's not exactly a flex, but like the block, like deep slit color is like relatively rare, so yeah. So this is going to go right here. I believe it's like this. Yep. And there we go. Perfect. Now the final addition to finish off the base is right here. 2 heavy cores going right on top of these towers. Yep. So there goes the first one. Boom. And the final block to finish this build. Let's get up here. Alright, nope. Final block to be placed. Let's go. 3, 2. Build complete. But yeah, this is the build done. My cathedral done. Not my whole megabase, because this entire area is my megabase.
Also, this guy showed up randomly. Yeah, a naturally generated diamond armor zombie. Yeah. Bertram, the undead warrior. The undead diamond warrior. Yep. I'm gonna have this guy like guarding diamonds or something, because this is very cool. Anyhow, back to the build. So I believe this build took me around, I think, 16 in-game hours, like building it on the server. So yeah, that's big build. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it looks. Like, it'll turn out so nice. Sure, it's a bit bigger than I expected, but it still looks good. So yeah, like my favorite parts about this build are the spires. I mean, obviously, spires, they're cool stuff. And then honestly, this side section here, cause like I added these like bat wings here, which I thought looked really cool, cause bats, gothic. You can see the correlation. And then I was like, huh. And yeah, then I just made a bat head as well on top, and I think that looks really cool. This is probably one of my favorite bits about the build. So yeah, it turned out really nice. I'm really happy with it. Quite happy with how it turned out. Yeah, definitely worth the 16 hours. But there are a couple of things which were a bit of a pain. So first thing was the block variety for this build. Oh my god, did I use a lot of block variety? Like you could see, like I had all my stuff, my ender chest, not ender chest, my shulker boxes laid out here, and there weren't very many of the same material, but it was just a long list. So yeah, building with that was a massive pain, not gonna lie, because my inventory was full at all times. And like one specific block per inventory slot. No more. Unless it's like the roof, then I had multiple of, because it mainly required 4 blocks, which is this black wool, black concrete powder, black stone, and then the bricks. And also dirt, but yeah. I had to constantly go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to replenish all my materials, so that was honestly such a pain. But yeah, pretty worth it, I'd say. And another hurdle I ran into with this build, specifically for the designing side rather than like actually building it in survival, was I'm used to building in a gothic style in creative, where I can use debugging tools like the Tinkerer tool from Axiom, which basically just acts as a debug stick. And that's really good for gothic builds because it allows you to get a lot more details in a smaller space. But couldn't do that here now, could I? Because, survival, SMP, vanilla. So yeah, I had to get a little creative for this. And I don't think anyone has talked about this building technique, but using glass panes. Glass panes are like the best thing ever. Yeah, it's like glass panes kind of served as my like replacement for debug stick. It sounds weird, but it's really cool because like you can notice here, this kind of looks like I have what do you call it? Deep slit fences, because I used glass to make the deep slit walls pop out. And since like Minecraft's lighting is a bit weird, especially with walls, and walls get really dark when they're surrounded by blocks on all sides, having it stick out by being connected to the glass makes it a lot brighter and kind of makes it look like a fence. So I use that technique here and here. So it's rather simple to do. Right, let's just do it here. So as you can see, like this is a lot darker than this, because Minecraft lighting's weird. So what you can do is just place this and boom, you got like a little fence looking thing. It's not a fence, but it looks like one, and that's all that matters. And yeah, it's really cool. So that's one of the techniques I used. Like glass panes have a lot of techniques you can utilize with them. I honestly like, they're the best, basically the best block for vanilla gothic building. It's so good. Right, so you can do these fences with them. Then as you can see, like glass allows you to shape walls or anything that connects to glass panes for that matter. So you can see I utilized it here as well. Like I connected these walls up using glass panes and these iron bars as well with glass panes. So they're like really good, like, because other than glass panes, this effect can't be achieved without a debug stick. So it's really cool since glass is transparent. I know, real surprising. But yeah, that basically allows it so that you can easily just shape blocks without the glass affecting the build too much. Like this wouldn't be the best example of this because you can still really clearly see the glass. And this kind of drives me on to my next point, anti-aliasing. By this point, I'm sure most people know what anti-aliasing is in Minecraft, specifically due to Cooltwo's video. That's kind of how I got the idea of doing this. Basically, you just either use glass if a build's against like the sky, since glass is semi-transparent, or you use like a similar color to the skies to make the build like look slightly blurry. And what that does is makes it look more smooth. Like here, you can see like the glass here makes it like very slightly blurry, which kind of makes it look straighter in a weird way. I can't really explain it well enough. I'd highly recommend checking out Cooltwo's video. They did an amazing job at explaining this technique. But yeah, like just these glass panes. Without these, like, no, that's a black glass pane. That's oh well. But yeah, like without that, like you can see like that is a lot more jagged, and especially with me using walls here, because glass also shapes it so that if it's on top of a wall, it kind of like makes this bit connect upwards like this. So there's also that. I'll fix that later. And now the most important part where I kind of mixed anti-aliasing and shaping the walls with glass is this, the spire. You can see I used like a lot of anti-aliasing in order to be able to shape the walls in order to look like arches. The silhouette of the build is barely affected by the glass because anti-aliasing is amazing. But it makes the arches look, actually connected, which looks really good. Because without this connection point, so it'll just be like separated from this wall. So that's really amazing. Glass panes are genuinely some of the best blocks for Gothic architecture in Minecraft. They're so useful. But yeah, like here's another example of me using glass panes. I've been thinking maybe oh okay, my spawn's right here, okay. Right, there's my spawn. As I was saying, with like the shaping, you don't necessarily only need the glass. Like this is how the shaping in the spire bit goes. These two aren't connected at all, right? Like they're so far apart. But using glass panes, I could just plop this here, and then boom, they're connected just like that. It's like a really small connection point which won't look the best, but with the anti-aliasing from the glass, that makes it look a bit thicker, which really helps.
Hello, everyone.
One sec, I'm recording a clip. I didn't realize I was muted instead of deafened. What the? Which basically makes it appear a bit thicker, and that really helps making it look really nicely connected. And in some situations, instead of using glass, you could also use iron bars, which can be a cool effect depending on what you want to do. Let's see, have I used that anywhere in the build? You can make arches out of iron bars, which sometimes it doesn't look the best because they still appear like a bit disconnected, but I think I made it work decently well. I guess just here would be a good example of me using... It's not necessarily to specifically shape the wall block, it's more like just... Yeah, it connects to the wall block and it's like appears more solid than glass, so... Yeah, as I was saying, I've been thinking maybe I should make a tutorial for all this glass work. I think I've explained it, went over it like decently well enough, but I think I could probably go more in detail for that. So let me know if you're interested in a tutorial for glasswork for walls and stuff, because I might do that. I've personally not seen many people talk about that. Like, I'm sure there's gotta be someone out there who's talked about this technique, but I personally haven't seen anyone talk about it. So yeah, that's why I'm thinking I might do a tutorial for it myself. And oh my god, the build looks so cool in the rain like this. Oh my god, that looks absolutely menacing. Oh, look at that. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about with this build. I've been yapping for, let's see, how long? 14 minutes. So yeah, I'll shut up, and if you want more details about the glass stuff and Gothic building in general, maybe leave a comment down below, and I probably will do a tutorial for this building technique. So yeah, cool guy.
Poor guy. But yeah, gonna definitely do something with this guy. Also, no interior, if you hadn't noticed. I don't like doing interiors. I'm sure I'll eventually get around to doing an interior for this, but it's not gonna be coming anytime soon. I can guarantee that. It's not gonna be coming anytime soon. Since I got tagged yet again last episode, I had to get rid of it again. But thankfully, I was able to get rid of it quick enough, so here it is. Okay, Troz is gonna be back for lunch, so I'm gonna tag him with this trap. Hopefully he's not watching Mystic stream. That would kind of suck.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put the tag in this one.
Like I can see the heat door of the door change, and I can hear it, but it takes like ages to actually update the texture of it. Oh, I accidentally activated the trap, but I still have inventory full.
Ah. Can I please? Thank you. Thank you, video game. Okay, I'll put the tag. I feel like he'd probably go through this one more.
Yeah, I think that's the only one he actually uses.
Yeah. All right. I suggest you leave the house.
Yep.
There we go. There's the tag. There's the book, and there's the tag. Okay. Hopefully he's not watching the stream.
So if you're watching, nothing happened here.
Nuh-uh. Definitely not.
Nuh-uh.
Isn't Clefairy
Oh, I'm
and
gonna...
Jigglypuff and Clefairy like from the same race?
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. I remember the Psycho Duck.
It had to be done. It had to be done.
I found Mystic's wife.
What?
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 Okay.
Found her wife. I found her
When
wife.
did I get a wife?
There you go. I'm gonna send it to you all.
Congratulations. So that's gonna be it for this episode of DokeyCraft. I finally started. Well, not started since I started with that, but made the cathedral for my Megabase, which I absolutely like how it turned out. So, yeah. And also got rid of the tag. Because, oh my god, do I get tagged way too often? And what is this? Wow, a sign. Wait, I did not know this was here. Alright. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the episode. Cool build done. Bye bye.